Welcome to Feed Dump, where I am back and on my throne as the rightful host of this damn program. And joining me this week is someone who claims he is the rightful host of this program.
The Lady of the Dump, her arm clad in shimmering samite, held forth Excalibur from the frothy, steaming waters, signifying that I, Cameron, was king of the dumps.
And someone who claims he is Dump Master Flash.
But I had such great plans to take this in a fresh new direction.
You know what, guys? Maybe we can all be the hosts of Feed Dump. Just kidding! I'm the rightful host of this program. Me, back off! Get your own show. According to a Loch Ness Monster expert who has spent the last 24 years of his life searching for the monster, by the way, giving up his home, job, and girlfriend. In the process, he's looked at the evidence and says, you know what, after speaking to eyewitnesses, the most likely solution is that the Loch Ness Monster is a Wells catfish.
What about the plethora of evidence? The overexposed, overblown pictures that could be literally anything. The half-baked rantings of local drunks. The mountain of Loch Ness merchandise. All of this proves incontrovertibly that there is a Loch Ness Monster.
I highly doubt it's a catfish. The Scots would have eaten it by now.
Only after stuffing it with oatmeal and the guts of another animal.
Man, can you imagine spending 25 years doing something only to come to the conclusion that your whole life had been a lie?
Yes.
Look, dude, if you're feeling lonely, just come to BC. Go to Okanagan Lake. No one has disproven Ogopogo yet.
Or the Cadborosaurus.
Sorry, what?
The Cadborosaurus, Victoria's very own aquatic cryptid. Ours is saltwater-based.
That is some disappointing naming, like RC Cola level naming.
I prefer to think of it as the Fago of cryptids.
A Massachusetts city official who had been hearing complaints from his constituents for months that the crosswalks in their neighborhood were too faded and hard to see, and therefore dangerous, took matters into his own hands over the weekend and repainted them with special green paint. For that, the city that he works for charged him with 2 counts of destruction of property.
I realize we haven't seen the picture of this man, but are we sure he's not black?
What the fuck is wrong with this town? If you're cutting a ceremonial ribbon, do you get ticketed for littering? If you're having a parade, does everyone get written up for jaywalking? I mean, what happens if you actually do something wrong?
I think they probably just buy you a meal at Burger King.
If you must add insult to injury, also note that this guy is going to be charged $4,000 for the cost of clearing up the paint.
Wow, that Greek austerity is coming for fucking everyone.
I think he should just do the right thing and go clean it up himself with a jackhammer.
From hell's heart I painted thee. For hate's sake I spit my last paint at thee.
Cam, that was scarily hardcore.
Moby Dick be some heavy shit.
Call me Brush Pail.
Police in Manchester were baffled after reports of a dead animal in a canal turned out to be a duvet stuffed with coconuts.
So, basically you're out on the lines, checking your traps for duvets, and you find one, and you're sitting out there in the woods gutting it of all, the fill, and you stuff it with coconuts to bring it back home and preserve it and mount it, and you're driving back home, and it blows off the back of your truck and lands in the canal, and you don't even stop. You don't even stop to go and pull it out of the canal. That's disrespectful. That dishonors the duvet's spirit.
Frankly, I'm appalled. My white ancestors would have used all parts of the duvet.
Savages.
Okay, but in all honesty, how does a duvet filled with coconuts in a canal look anything like an animal?
How does a duvet filled with coconuts wind up in a canal?
How does a duvet get filled with coconuts?
Which one of you gave coconuts to Manchester?
I told you this would happen if we gave them blankets.
They just filled them up with coconuts.
Yeah, just threw them right in a canal.
Decided they looked like an animal, I guess.
And called the police.
Who were baffled.
That's pretty much the whole story.
Yeah, well, I guess that explains it.
Look, there's a lot of mysteries in this story that we're not going to be able to answer, but I can tell you how someone thought this was a dead animal. Turns out there was a guy walking along the canal in the evening and noticed a mysterious package floating there, so he hauled it out of the water and onto dry land, and then he realized, according to the police statement, that it might be a dead animal because it had a strong odor and was leaking white fluid.
Well, it's hardly conclusively animal. It could be anything vegetable or mineral at that point.
Specifically, what kind of animal leaks white fluid?
Leak isn't the word I'd use.
No, really, did they think they pulled up Bishop from Aliens?
Apologetically dribbles.
Look, we may never find out the true meaning behind the coconut duvet, but it doesn't matter because sadly it's time for this episode to come to a close. And remember, there may be better sources of news, but they don't have this hat, which I got in Nara in Japan, and it is the Nara Park deer mascot. His name is Shikamaru, and he's adorable. And there's a lot of deer there, and you can feed them, and they're very cute. But some of them are pushy. Some of them are just like, yeah, human, give me that stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they kind of have some expectations. It's not a healthy relationship is what I'm saying. I feel like some of those deer need to reassess their priorities. But aside from that, the deer in Nara are very cute. I don't know where I'm going with this. Goodbye, everybody. Police in Manchester were baffled after reports of a dead animal in a canal turned out to be a duvet filled with coconuts.
You were so close.
So stupid.